Hello everybody, welcome back to Brave Station. This is Daniel with a hat in time.
How'd a place end up like this anyway?
I don't know. Oh man. I'm drawing a big fat blank right now. Does that ever happen to you? You knew you were gonna say something, you're ready to say it, and then it comes time to say it, and you just blank. You're just, what was I gonna say again? Oh, well, anyway, I'm sure that will come back to me when it's not the right time. I hope you guys have been enjoying yourselves. Thank you for joining me this time. I hope you were able to join me last time. Let's see. There's something I wanted to talk to you guys about. I can't remember. Those cannons are fun though, that's for sure. So, oh goodness, what was it? I can't remember. I really can't. Any of you guys get Fallout 76? Did I open up wounds? Is it too soon to talk about that? Open up fresh wounds? Ooh, one more. Not that there. Stop yarn. Yeah, but Fallout 76, holy cow, guys. I'll be honest with you. The only Fallout I ever played was New Vegas. I enjoyed it, but I heard from many people that it is clearly the best of the Fallout series. And it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. So I wasn't particularly excited for Fallout 76. I do like when games have really nice collector's editions. And I guess Fallout 76 was supposed to have some nice collector edition items. And they really dropped the ball. And gave a really pathetic excuse for a bag. They're supposed to have this tote bag, this duffel bag. Looked like some pretty, good material, something you could actually carry around and have items in. But then people got it, and it was a crappy material. Nylon, I think it was. It looked like a trash bag. It looked terrible. It didn't even look good. Like, well, it's a collector's item and it looks fine. I might not use it for personal use because it probably can't handle it, but at least it looks nice. Nope, it doesn't even look nice. Meanwhile, you have companies like Atlas, who, I got the Persona 5 Collector's Edition, because Persona is one of my favorite series, and I love Atlas, and it was the cheapest Collector's Edition I've ever seen in recent memory, especially for what it came with. And it was, to me, a done deal. Like, no doubt I'm gonna get this type of situation. And all the items came in, and the backpack was actually like a good quality backpack. And yeah, so I see something like Fallout 76 where it had this nice looking bag, and it reminds me of the Persona 5 bag, and people get it, and it reminds me of a trash bag. So that's not, I mean, I know everyone's complaining about the game and all the bugs and how it's not working properly and how bugs from Fallout 4 um, is present in 76, which is like unacceptable. And I get all that, but I haven't played it, so I can't speak with personal experience. But I mean, a bag's a bag. You just have to look at it. People are very upset, and they should be upset. So I'm not like sue crazy or even one for suing so much, but there's talk of a class action lawsuit against Fallout, and I gotta say I don't blame people, because they got a broken, buggy, messy game, and then they gave it a deep discount very shortly after it came out. And again, rightfully so, people are upset. And but I think what I'm trying to get to the point at, because again, I didn't buy the game. I haven't played the game. I don't have a foot to stand on about that. But what I would encourage people to do is be very cautious about pre-ordering a game. It is not a good idea to pre-order video games. Especially like digital copy video games, which it's just booming. I personally love physical copy video games, and I hope they never go away, even if it turns into the minority and you have to go to specialty stores or they're harder to find. That's fine. I prefer physical copy, because when you buy it there's a few different reasons. The two main reasons is that when you buy it digitally, that's it. You've bought it. It's digital. So if you don't like it, or you beat it super quick and you want to get another game, well, if you're like me and your gaming budget is very strict and minimum, oh no, I wanted to get that yarn. You get the Floor's Lava trophy. That's funny. I call that was wow, what part was that in this series? That was a long time ago in Mafia Town when I think I called it the ground is lava though instead of the floor is lava. You guys ever play that game as a kid? I did. Darn! Okay, well, did you guys see the yarn that was there when I picked it up? Unfortunately, I can't just go straight back to it. And I don't want to have to go through that entire thing again. Well, later when I'm trying to 100% it and get everything, maybe I'll go back to it, and when I go back to it, I'll make a note and show you guys me getting it. If not, I mean, it was right there. So if you guys are watching this to be able to see where everything's at, just don't do what I did right now and get the time clock first. Go get that yarn.
The Twilight Bell is this way.
Anyway, that's funny. The ground's lava. So, yeah, I like physical copies, but you should only ever pre-order a game if it's like a collector's edition, and you know that they might run out, and you know that there's a limited quantity, because they're not ever going to run out of a game, especially now in the digital era. You can't run out of digital codes. But another reason why I like to play physical games over digital games is you actually own the physical copy, so you can resell it, like I was saying, all that stuff. But the other huge reason is uh, like let's say, actually this happened to me. I bought, what game was it? Scott Pilgrim vs. the World for the PS3. And I enjoyed it. It was a fun game. Um,
The birds at the birdhouse steal.
and they got rid of it on the PlayStation Network store. So now I can never play it again. Because my PS3 broke. So I went and got a new PS3. And, you know, because I have my account, anything I had saved on the cloud I could transfer over. Any game data I could transfer over. Or at least I thought I was going to be able to transfer all my games. But, little did I know, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World was no longer on the PlayStation Network store. And because of that, it was just gone. Just gone. Gone forever. I can never play it again on my PS3. And they did that with PT. Do you guys remember PT? So anyone who deleted that off of their hard drive, oh, it's gone. Or your system gets corrupted, it's gone. Yours breaks and you have to get a new one and you can't transfer that over, it's gone. So if you buy a game digitally, even if you buy it, see, PT was a demo, so it's a little bit of a different story, but like I said, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, I bought that game, but now it's just gone. Just gone. I didn't lose the game. I didn't break the game. I didn't let a friend borrow it and never get it back. It's just gone because they took it off the PlayStation Network store. And I'll never get it back. I did Twilight Bell. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out where I haven't been. Maybe that one over there? But yeah, so if I bought a if I bought a physical copy of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, I would still have it. Now that game was digital only, so I had no choice. Just like this game, it's digital only. So I hope and pray that they never ever take it off because I'm having way too much fun. And I'd be way more disappointed than when Scott Pilgrim was taken away. But that's my point. Any physical game I have, I can still play it whenever I want. Even if the network went down, even if they decided to take the games off the network for whatever reason. I own a physical copy, or I beat the game and I'm probably never ever going to play it again. Maybe I can sell it for somebody, sell it to somebody, get some of my money back. Oh, I didn't like this game at all. Well, maybe I can sell it to somebody who would like it. You know? It's just, physical copies to me is always going to be better than the digital. The only thing that digital has over physical is the convenience factor. That's it. Because it's not like they're cheaper digitally. A new game's still $60. So you buy a game digitally or physically, you're paying the same amount. The only difference is you don't have to go to the store. But even then, a lot of people do online shopping. So you can buy physical copies and not have to go to the store either. So really the only thing digital copies now has is the fact that if you download it to your hard drive, you can easily go from one game to the other without having to get up, take a disc out, and put a disc back in. And maybe it's just because, you know, I grew up, I had to do that growing up. So I'm not as spoiled as the newer generations coming out. So maybe as every generation passes by, digital copies are going to be more and more and more popular because the younger generation before is going to have that convenience factor always be there. Where me, I don't really mind getting up and changing out a game disc. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that hard. It's not that hard, physically demanding, you know? So, I don't know. To each his own, I guess, but everyone who bought Fallout 4 or Fallout 76 digitally is really upset because Bethesda was like, "Oh yeah, we'll give refunds." The least they could have done is, you know, oh, you bought the game brand new, $60, but a week later it's on sale for $30, so here's $30 back. You know, just pay the difference. Jeez. At least do that, but nope, they didn't. So people are mad, and there's talks about suing them, which I don't want to. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know if it's how much weight that holds, how true that is. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not really. I don't know if suing would even do anything, if they would win. I mean, these guys, they have lawyers. Any company does, or any smart company at least. The best thing you can do is you know, speak with your wallets and don't pre-order the next game. Refuse to pre-order the next Fallout or even the next Skyrim or whatever they release, and they will make sure to get their games to completion on release date instead of what they do, because they do it all the time. They've gotten so used to releasing a buggy, unfinished, unpolished game and then just fixing it post-launch, and the fans are okay with it. But now you're running into game-breaking bugs because it's an online game and people aren't having it. And now even more people are salty because all the fans who pre-ordered the collector's edition because they're collectors and they thought, I love Fallout, so I want the collector's items. Now they're salty because they feel ripped off because they didn't get all the items that they were promised on the pre-order, because the bag that came isn't even the quality that they said it was going to be. So it's, you know, to go back to Persona 5 as an example, I get all the items, they're super high quality, very, very nice items. Also, the game, when it launched, see, it got delayed a few times, but once we finally got it, it was perfect. It was so insanely polished. It was so good. It did not rely on patches. I didn't have to have a day one patch. I popped it in my PS4. I started playing it right away and never ran into a patch for the over 100 hours that I played. And I'd have to double check, so don't quote me on it. But as far as I know, they haven't had a patch at a single time. In the era where so many developers, so many companies rely on being able to release their unfinished, buggy, unpolished product and then just fine-tune it and polish their turd and fix the bugs post-launch, it's not impossible to release a game with very little, almost no bugs at all. And even old school games where they couldn't rely on them, sometimes you would run into bugs, and it would have been nice for them to be able to fix it back then. But now, instead of it being, oh, that'd be nice to be able to fix, oh, now we can, that's awesome, great, I'm so happy, now it's just expected. So once you get the game, when it's buggy, oh well, deal with it, we'll fix it. That's just how games are now. No, they don't have to be like that. Persona 5 is not an old game. And I didn't run into a single problem. It didn't need to be patched. And like I said, I haven't played it for a while. I mean, I've put almost 200 hours into it. But since then, I haven't played in a while. Um, but as far as I know, they still haven't patched it. And if they have, it had to have been something minor, because I ran into nothing the entire time I played it. Nothing was wrong with it. It didn't crash a single time. I didn't run into any bugs. I don't like to pre-order games, but I like to pre-order collector's items, and I got exactly what they said they were going to give me. Great quality stuff. It was even better than I imagined. I was very happy with my purchase. No buyer's remorse, no anger. It was great all around. Items and game and everything. That's what companies need to do. That's what you need to demand from companies. And if Bethesda has gotten comfortable with releasing buggy, unfinished, unpolished games, the fans need to stop pre-ordering. Because you as a fan need to be like, no, I'm not buying this game until it's fixed. Until I know it's in good working order.
You can just see.
And if that happens and you speak with your wallets, they will listen. Okay? Because it's a company. Companies listen with their wallets more than anything else. Because you can complain all you want, but as long as they're making their money, they're just going to release their little, we have 1 million players, and don't worry guys, we're going to fix it soon. And oh well, so I know you're not happy with it, but it's going to get better, don't worry. No. It should have been ready when you released it. But they didn't. So you stop pre-ordering games. At least from the companies that you can't trust with the pre-order. And make them release their game polished, because they want people to buy their games sooner and not later, to make the highest amount of profit before they have to put it on discount, before they have to drop the price because it's an old game or it's not selling well. And if companies release games finely polished, little to no bugs, if there's minor issues, very minor issues that people run into, especially with the open world games, it kind of happens. Because players will check every nick and cranny, every crack, and sometimes weird things happen. I get it. I'm not trying to be completely cynical. I appreciate and like that developers can now patch and fix games after launch. But they should not rely on it so heavily like Bethesda does. And if nobody's pre-ordering their games because they don't trust the company because of what they've done in the past, they will stop heavily relying on the post-launch patches and try to make it as clean and perfect and polished as possible before the game comes out. So if you pre-order it, you get it on day one, you get a complete game. The game you want. The game you deserve as a consumer who paid $60, $80, $100, in this case the collector's edition, $200 for. So, I don't know. This video's gone on long enough, and I don't want to just repeat myself because I can feel myself about to do that. Well, I know it's different from what I usually do. There wasn't really a comedic value to it, but then again, some of you might be wondering, well, what's the difference? I never laugh at your other videos anyway. See, Daniel, I made my own joke. I don't need you. That's fine. I love you anyway. I don't know, maybe I'm making sense to somebody. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me this time. I hope you join me next time. I'll see you then. Bye-bye. for now.